evening, everyone. Welcome to your 360 Global Security Intelligence. Wherever you're watching us from, I am Dakore, reaching out to you from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. On today's show, we'll be analyzing headlines from Monday to Friday with Collins Ajibola, our in-house Africa security analyst. Also, we'll be speaking with Ejike Okpa, our global affairs analyst, on the happenings around the United States of America. Joining us for the very first time as an analyst is Kennedy from the United Kingdom, giving us updates on the happenings around the United Kingdom and its environs. And finally, we will close up the show with an exclusive interview I had with Air Vice Marshal Chukwu Christian Ndubisi, retired, on his life journey as a fighter pilot. Let's go on a short break. When we come back, we'll be speaking with Collins Ajibola. Just stay tuned.
I don't do anything, I don't do anything, help me.
Shut up.
You had better make a statement. Our own statement, and we will leave you. So I will not say anything. If I'm going to make statement, it will be what happened at the football viewing center. You arrested 10 persons for theft of a phone, just by hearsay. I see you don't want to live here. We will just lock you up. Officer, I know my rights. My lawyer must get here before I make my statement, period. You are denying me of my rights. Officer, take him back to the cell. He's not ready. I'm innocent.
That's my client's voice. Lucky. He called me right at the raid. I want to speak with my client immediately, now. Now this lawyer.
This troublesome lawyer. Please bring that criminal out.
What offense did he commit that you beat him up like this?
They want me to make a statement contrary to what happened when I called you. But I had requested for my lawyer. Shut up.
Don't shut him up like that. Don't shut my client up. He's right. The law has given him the right. Act 2015, according to section 17.2, says that a person arrested on allegation has the right to make statement, as it will be electronically recorded in the presence of his lawyer, and if he doesn't have one, a legal aid counsel, official of a civil society organization, a justice of peace, or any other credible person of his choice must be made available. This is injustice and will not be handled lightly. But first, let's have the statement now. Such injustice, what nonsense, No security personnel can shut you up against your right. It is your right to make statement in the presence of your lawyer. Provisions has been made under section 17.2 of ACJA 2015, mandating that at the point of your making statement at a police station or any other place, a suspect is entitled to request the presence of his lawyer or any other person of his choice. But if the suspect cannot personally write his statement due to illiteracy or any other reasons, the police officer or any other person may write on his behalf before being signed by the suspect as his statement. If the suspect does not understand English language, the statement should be written first in the suspect's own language and translated into English language. Section 15.4, 17.3 and 4 of the ACJA 2015 also provides that if the statement made is a confession, it is required by law that such statement be recorded electronically or covered by a video recording device. Otherwise, it won't be admitted by the court during trial.
This public enlightenment campaign on the administration of criminal justice, ACJA 2015, is brought to you by the Clean Foundation and supported by the MacArthur Foundation.
Welcome back. We are kickstarting the show with some of the happenings around Nigeria and most African countries. Let's find out from Collins Ajibola on the happenings around Africa. Thank you very much, Collins Ajibola, for joining. Now, a lot of activities have been happening around Nigeria and, of course, around the neighboring countries. Talk about different countries in Africa. Now, tell us what you have for us. Let's get to hear from you.
All right, thank you so much, Dakore, for having me this evening. Good evening, everyone. It's been a very eventful week since the last time we came up on this program again. In Nigeria, in particular, there has been a lot. You know, the secession struggle by some parts of come out hard to say, look, you go after those who are not in interest of the unity of this country. And also, the AstraZeneca vaccine is out now. Governors are actually trying to do the flag launch. I think the latest is Oyo State that did theirs yesterday. And also in Africa, there is no gainsaying that so many African countries are having all the time when it comes to insecurity issue. And you remember that even during the week also, the president came out to say, look, we will support any African country that is in need. But Nigerians are saying, have we actually done what is right in our own country before rendering help? But again, if you look at it holistically, Africa is an entity. We are a continent. We must come together to fight this menace called insecurity. If you say in Nigeria you want to fight it alone, it will be difficult because the issues that has been happening in the sub-Saharan and the trans-Saharan Africa is one that is spreading all over the continent.
All right. Okay. Let's quickly hit the nations that that's a story that came up on Monday. Rage over attack on Governor Otom. Now, I'd like to ask, when you read the story, what actually came to your mind? Do you think they would really get to the bottom of it? Because Buhari has ordered investigation, and then says the story should be investigated. What are your thoughts on this?
It was initially, I wanted to be very sure of the circumstance because when the governor came out to give his own narrative of the reported attack, I was among those who asked, was he not with his car? And as a governor, he is supposed to be with a bulletproof car. So how come he said he came down and ran over a 1.5 kilometers? Later on, I think it became very clear that, okay, he was in his farm, perhaps maybe trying to take a walk around or perhaps doing some supervision when that alleged attack did happen. But it's actually a very sad one. And many people have been saying it, that if you are not taking what is supposed to be seriously, there will be a time when even the elite will not be able to sleep in this country. And sadly, I can't say that we are heading towards that now. But again, I want to be optimistic that it will be nipped in the bud. And like the president has stated, remember that even the governor, president, and official visits during the week, like the president has stated, I want to believe that the security agents and agencies will go down the foundation of the matter, get the culprits arrested. Sorry, the Fulani national movements that have come out to lay claim to the alleged attack, are they real, or perhaps there are some elements who are behind this kind of identity?
Okay, all right. Now moving over to Wednesday's story, we have a story here on Daily Sanders says Army declare war on Igboho, Kanu, and Dokubo. Now, how good or how realistic is this coming from the Nigerian Army?
Well, it's actually a very tough one. Okay, if you, can you hear me? Can I go on?
Yeah, go ahead. We can hear you very well.
Okay. That's actually one of the news that make the rounds during the week. The new man at the helm of affairs, talking about the new chief of army staff, is trying to perhaps also make his own voice known that, look, the army will not allow any kind of issue that will cause secession or perhaps
my question is, Collins, will this really bring results to Nigeria, yes, or it will further destroy Nigeria? What do you think?
It has never brought any results. I don't
do you think this would bring results?
No, it has never brought any results. I think most importantly, first and foremost, we must keep the conversation going, talking about the dialogue and table, because if we must remain one Nigeria, we must come to an agreement. It's not by war, it must be an agreement. See what's happening to Sudan. And if you look at it also, it's also sadly happening to Sierra Leone. For years now, Sierra Leone, one of the most homogeneous countries in the whole world, no any kind of ethnic diversity, no kind of any religious diversity, and they have been at the forefront. What has it ended them? So we must take our diversity as a very good strength and not one that should divide us.
Okay, all right. Let's move to Daily Independent for Thursday. We have a story here that says Northern elders to Buhari, Nigeria falling apart under your watch. Now, if the Northern elders are coming out to say this to our president, does it really mean that we can't put things together? Is Nigeria a failed state?
I won't completely agree to that statement that perhaps we are a failed state, but yes, we are. There is a lot going on wrong that shouldn't be. There are a lot of issues that by now we should have had a headway in terms of tackling, and it's very, very obvious. There is no correlation of anything that this is the most perilous time for us in the country in terms of insecurity and other issues. Remember yesterday even the Minister of State for Petroleum and also the GMD for NNPC came out to say, look, the country might not be able to bear the burden of subsidy again, meaning that in April, Nigerians should just be expecting perhaps not an April Fool news this time around, but a very reality news of hiking petroleum and prices. So I think this is the most challenging time for us as a country, economic-wise, security-wise, but we must also not forget to tell the president that, look, a lot stops at the bulk of the president's table. He is the GCFR. He is the number one man in this country that has to dictate everything. He is the one who has the key, if you want to say, to many things in this country. It is now left for him to say, look, whoever he delegates a duty must come and report to him and judiciously to say, like, look, the assignment you gave me is done. But that actually has been a very big concern because many people will ask, who are those even in charge of the presidency? That's a very big question that many Nigeria will ask you. Is the president truly in charge of the country? Why are many things going wrong? So I think it's just a clarion call on the president to say, look, Nigerians are asking the question, are you really the man in charge of the country? Because the way it's going, many people are beginning to believe that many Nigerians are in charge and perhaps there is no person actually cardinally coordinating the affairs of the country.
Okay, Collins, let's move away from Nigeria and then let's beam our searchlight on Ethiopia because on the 4th of November in 2020, armed conflict broke out between the regional government and the federal government in the northern side of Ethiopia. That is the Tigray region. And then report says that clashes between Ethiopian and Tigrayan forces continue in Tigray and over 1 million people are now thought to be displaced. Now, it is estimated that about 4.5 million people are in need and over 61,000 people have fled to neighboring Sudan. Hunger seems to be a major cause, and when hunger is a cause, it calls for security attention. Now, and then in November and December, many areas are approaching famine levels. Now, most health clinics have been destroyed or looted as a cause of all of this conflict happening in Ethiopia. Now, my question is this. What is the current situation in Ethiopia? Now, for Ethiopians fleeing into Sudan, what wider impact will Tigray conflict have on them?